Grab a mic. Thank you. Well, Michael, you want to present? We're gonna just read up the slides only. Yep. Song and dance. I didn't even do the slide. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our sixth DevOps meetup and the final one of the year. Okay. Leong, I'm the backup host for the backup host. So okay, so we're gonna start with sharing what is new going on, aka what we call a buzz corner. So the meetup group, the meetup.com. Hello. I thought you were gonna come in. Yep, he is Sam. There's a lot of backup. Yeah, redundancy is very important in DevOps. So the meetup page, meetup.com page that we have, just reached 600 plus people. So yay. And who we are a bunch of I think pretty free people. We actually a bunch of volunteers. We try to help out each other doing meetups, not just the DevOps, but we are involved in several meetups as well. As you can see, we are doing the recording and archiving. So whoever that didn't attend, they can have I hope they can benefit from it afterwards. And this is the Slack channel. If you're interested, if you're a beginner or somebody who want to share something or somebody want to involve in the local community building scene, join up and just talk with us. So Money Meetup is announced on meetup.com, as you guys discover as well. So yep, get in touch via meetup.com, message us. We do reply the message. Yep. And or if you want a slightly ad hoc kind of conversation, just join the Slack. So we have two lists that maintained by the community. One is called the Dev Army meetup page. This is mainly a curated meetup, mainly community-based meetup. And another one that is maintained by Top One, and that contains all the meetups, I think, within Klang Valley. So, yep, check them out. House rules, Han's favorite saying, minimum bike sharing. Does everyone understand what is bike share? Basically, the saying is, I might be getting it wrong, but the saying is, if within a meeting room, and if you're talking about something serious like how to build probably like a nuclear submarine, nobody will come up with any idea. But if you talk about this, like building a sheet, basically a cover for the bike, and everyone will tell you, like, suggest you what color it should be, how it should look like. Yep. So yep, minimum bike sharing. Be straightforward. Participate. Speak up. And very important, respect opinions. People have different opinions. Agree to disagree. What you think, that is basically my personal opinion is there is no absolute best practice or something under the sun. I hope there is one. So thank the organizer and sponsor. Thank you. This is actually prepared by Saswan. He's not around, but he did all the hard work. And thank you, Fashion Valley, for hosting us and providing the pretty good refreshment. Yep. We are pretty sick with pizzas and KFCs. Thank you very much. So now let's get back to Buzz Corner. You want to? Yep. I'm gonna do the slide. You're gonna talk. So that's how we force you to participate. Stand here, oh, stand here, stand in the middle. Okay. So
So, great. Like, so this is guys. I think it's CLI2 to look into your Docker image. Anybody try, guys? So this share in the last meetup. So the distro will have foundation. So, this is looking into your Docker rather than the typical just one minus nine. So most interactive. I'm not sure what this is about. So I think we're talking about the change of the Docker component to anyway, let's check out the GitHub. Okay, so
this is actually you can use your Docker Compose configuration on Kubernetes. So just ask. So this is how it looks like. So you know, like because Docker is actually sunsetting their Docker Swarm, so gradually they are migrating some of their tools to Kubernetes. They're gonna everybody's gonna support Kubernetes nowadays. So this actually looks like the Swarm configuration. So this will work on Kubernetes. So previously Stack only works on Swarm. So now it works on Kubernetes. Okay. This slide is actually pretty fancy for us. So we are CEO. This is an article about benchmark of the Kubernetes container network interface. So if you're just started Kubernetes and you are wondering which networking plugin is suitable for you, check the article. We're going to share the slides on the meetup page afterwards. So just to give you guys a preview, it's a benchmark, updated benchmark of this all these plugins, network plugins for Kubernetes. So yeah, DevOps is pretty much like synonymous with Kubernetes nowadays, or containers. So
next is
for anything about HashiCorp, ask Michael. Yeah, Michael is the HashiCorp expert in Malaysia. What is actually security management system? You use that?
one different.
Oh, there's a UI. Oh, it's actually a server that allows you to script with a JavaScript to create payload to look at your backend. With did I have a UI? So like we have whenever you try to benchmark certain things, some of the off-the-shelf solution like Apache Bench or WRK, they are pretty much limited in terms of functionality. So a lot of time we resorted into writing our own scripter-like kind of application to do load testing. So this I think this is a generic solution for you to script your own uh, load testing kind of functionality for your backend. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So does anyone have experience with something like a micro VM kind of because my curious part is what's the difference between using micro VM and like using a container, like what sort of stuff you can gain from using a micro VM. You can come up here. Yeah. The irony of the day we'll be talking about EC2. This is a new product.
This is PW.
So whoever wants to know about it, there's a AWS GitHub that is happening right now. So it's like automated scaling kind of stuff powered by AI.
previously, I think you mentioned country,
So anybody has a new other budget to share? The 5%. Oh, okay, just talk about it. Okay, share.
I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know too much about it because I just read it. Like I read it. I skimmed through it because I sent it to a group that basically said it's gonna get rid of DevOps people. Uh, so basically, AWS released a tool that will review the state of your workloads and compare them to AWS's architectural best practices. So it's a tool that will review your automation or any of the stuff at AWS, and it will review it against their best practices, which I think their user architect have created, and will recommend you things that change your architecture. Yeah. And the cool thing about it is before this, I think you had to engage with the architect. This is not, and it's just like a dashboard that, yeah, all the AWS well architecture. It just came up with it. They announced it at the research. Oh,
So more of us to do your job. So I think that's about it. And we're going to start with our first today by Brooke. We're going to talk about monitoring topics. Yeah. Luke is actually from Fashion Melee, which is our host for today.
So everybody can hear me, right? I don't think I need this, right? Okay, I'll speak louder. I expect my own people to. Okay, first of all, who has used Sensu before? I really hope no one. Then this would sound like really fresh and very invigorating for you guys. Because to be truthful, I haven't really used this that long. It's probably about a month plus. So it's good that no one has used it before lah. Okay, so anyway, let's cover why we use Sensu and how we use it in Fashion. Initially, when I first joined, there was essentially no monitoring, right? So monitoring was very fast, but after working in an e-commerce company for about coming to 2 years, I found that the customers were the best monitoring. Your service can be down for 1 or 2 minutes, and everybody will be like, calling, and your literally your Instagram will be on fire. So they are still the best monitoring tool. Yeah, but I digress. So let's get back to this. So
yeah, so what this talk is about and what it is not. So since none of you have really ventured into using Sensu, so this talk is more about like introducing to you an alternative maybe to Nagios, if you guys are using Nagios now. So it's not so much about like a demo or like a very in-depth talk about Sensu. It's more like an introduction for you guys. Okay, why Sensu? Everything in a e-commerce environment happens, it needs to be fast. Everything needs to be fast, yet everything needs to be right at the same time. So, like I said, we have a bevy of human nudgers outside there. Within 1 minute, your site is like a 503, or if your site like goes one side of it looks a bit wonky, all your social media will be on fire. Okay, so I'm actually Sensu is still trying to beat them at this point where I'm speaking. Yeah, initially we put in Nagios, but Nagios was really starting to look very long in the tooth and in a very bad way, right? I sort of developed like a Stockholm syndrome in Nagios because I got trapped with it. I had to pull out a lot of hair to get it done, and finally, when I knew how to add a host, I knew how to add checks to it. It was like the best thing in the world. So I never wanted to change until one day when I thought to myself, wow, like just adding one post requires like, I add it to the client, then there's something I got to do on the server, you know. So I just thought that this is so old. Nagios was around like, I'm dating myself, but in the year 2005 it was around already. So there's got to be something better. So I went out and I started looking around, and that's when I run into Sensu lah. So you guys can stop me anytime. I'm not the best around here. I'm not the sheriff around this part, so I might say things that are wrong, which are wrong. Most probably, just stop me and say your piece. Okay. Okay. What is Sensu? If you look up the meaning of Sensu, it's I think Japanese for incense of, and it was started in 2011 by Sean Porter. It was born in the company called Sonian.com, which they use internally. You can look up what Sonian.com. They use it to monitor their applications. So now there is Sensu Enterprise. So I'll leave it as homework for you guys to go and see how much of a damage it will do to your wallet. But don't worry, there's always the open source version of it. Okay, this is pretty much a Sensu architecture. I'm sure some of you have like went out and looked for Nagios plugins only to end up with some plugin that you really need but it's no longer supported. You can't easily get it. You have to compile it. You have to put it on your server. So they actually come with a plugin manager. It's somewhat like apt-get. So you can just say Sensu install and it will go to GitHub and pull it down and install everything for you. This is version 1. When I was running this, this is version 1, 1.x of this. So it actually pulls it down and installs it, and then you can start using it already. Okay, the other thing about it is the tool chain is very nice. There are probably just around 3 packages. You have Sensu, client, and you have Sensu server. That's about it. And then there's a lot of support in terms of like when you go over to Ubuntu, there are packages for it. If you go to your Red Hat variants, you have packages for it. So it's very well supported. And the next part is also, let's say if your client is already running some kind of Nagios plugin, is already running, you don't really have to rip it out. You don't really have to trash it. You can actually tell Sensu to actually talk to these guys and gather the metrics or the monitoring from there. Right? So as I said, it's very modular. So it's a difference between discovered and added as well. So when you actually install, it's more friendly towards stuff like Ansible, where you actually, let's say you install a server, you can just install the Sensu client package, and then just tell it that, hey, look, your Sensu server is here. And then it will be already discovered versus than you doing an edit where you have to edit your server a little bit and then go over and edit your client as well. Right? This is one heck of an important difference because it makes your job actually a whole lot simpler, and then it's simpler to actually remove these guys in here. Well, the future, the Sensu is actually written in, the first version is written in, the core of it is written in Ruby. They are actually version 2, they are going for a version in Go. No big surprise there, but then I just tried it before the presentation here, and there is a substantial difference. There are a lot of tools for you now to scaffold stuff, to easily just add on configurations, and yeah. So there is something called Sensu control now. So those of you who want to jump on the bandwagon, I would advise you to pull down the Docker image of Sensu and give it a whip. It's really nice. The second version is really nice, and then I think the interface is much nicer also. I really apologize, there's no demo, there is no screenshot for you, you just have to take my word for this, right? So it's really hectic trying to put this up. So I open the floor to any questions if you guys have any. Application you can write your own. You can write in, I think there are some, but not for all. You can actually even monitor until even things like your firewall, or you can actually, you go to a proxy there. You can actually even monitor those kind of things. So yeah. Alerting, it's all in the configuration file. There is it's pretty similar to Nagios. Once you subscribe to a service, the service you can define within there like what kind of people need to be notified and what kind of notification they need to get. So I think my guys here pretty much hate me a lot because they've been getting a lot of emails. So we have been essentially monitoring our supervisor. We have been monitoring our website. So those kind of things we monitor. And yeah, you can define it within there. Something I found wonky when I was like trying out the first version is like sometimes when you remove a certain notification, it seems to like still have that notification. So you have to play around with the definition within your client and your server. It's somewhere there lah. So if you find something which is, because I approach doing Sensu how I approach doing Nagios, which was most probably not the best way, and I was learning as I was going on. So I made double definition. I define the client here, I define the client here. So you don't really have to do that. All you have to do is just define, a cleaner way will be to define all your checks on the server, and finally your client, just tell it, hey, I want to subscribe to these checks. So once you remove a client, then the client just goes off, then you won't get notifications anymore. But I actually did it twice, so there was a little bit of wonkiness. Just go and look at Sensu Go. I advise you guys just go and look at it. It's very easy to install. Their packages already readily available. You just have to enable the repo for it, and the community is very vibrant. So there are, I think, up to date there are about 20,000 commits already for a project this young. It's quite I would say quite an achievement for them. And yeah, so maybe a little bit into the how we run it. We actually run it in AWS in a middle size EC2 instance. And so far, we have not had much problems with it. There's no, that being said, we don't monitor that much, but then we don't have outages or any strangeness like that. Yes, I know that's not the best way to do it, but maybe in the future when we actually do hit it, and I can poison my guys to like, I'm not the only one who really enjoy the monitoring. Them also, I don't think they enjoy it now. So once that happens, then maybe we can monitor all of the stuff. Then maybe we can pull out the Redis or maybe have our own dedicated Rabbit MQ or something like that. As of now, it's just yeah, we run it all on one server. I do agree with you. I do agree with you that CloudWatch can probably do a lot of the things that you do. But for me, one of the things that I want to be able to do, I don't know, I really haven't used CloudWatch that extensively, but one of the things that I want to do is able to commit the things that I want to monitor, let's say all the configuration files, so that I can easily recreate it back again. Maybe for CloudWatch you can do that, I don't know, but like I would want that one day if my Sensu server was to go down, I can just easily recreate. So I want something which I can put inside the repo, the configuration file. Yeah. Just the last thing is we are always looking for like very is the next one. Okay. Sorry. I don't attend enough of this, so I'm sorry. I can continue. Yeah. So we are always looking for like-minded people who believe in doing things right, who believe in not staying up until 6 a.m. So I have had my fair share of staying up until 6 a.m. here. I really hate it. So if they ask same people in the room, we are always open to speak to you guys and maybe see how we can work together. Okay. If there are no more questions, thank you for being my captive audience. Yep.
before we
All right. Before I start.
for certain microservices, we consider very low in the kind of so that we handle over microservices in product. So we have this kind of workload running in my production environment. I usually receive like 5 units on any regular day. All right, and we have some folks in the team writing a new piece of software to revamp our core services with some extra awesome new features that we'll be developing, and we think our users are going to love it. All right, so with this in mind. So who am I? I'm David. I'm currently attached with some group. Previously, I had some stakes in people's options before this. Then before this, I was in Protocol Worldwide and iCar and Oda. I play guitar, I kick casually, and I dragon boat, hence the stuff, and I use it to the All right, so we have a new piece of software. So what's next? As we release the package, then kaboom. What happened? We have bugs, not enough resource to support the traffic. Sounds familiar, right? Service down. All other downstream services are all impacted. My 5 million site users got angry. My boss got restless. My CTO not happy. My CEO is pissed. I'm dead. Familiar? All right. So, I mean, today I just want to bring up on the table one concept that I think would be beneficial for us to at least try to address all this aftermath of uneducated students. So here comes the concept of dark launching. Actually, dark launching is a concept pitched by the huge corporations, mainly Facebook, around 2008, 2009, I think, 10 years ago. And it's just basically a process of releasing a production-ready feature to part of your users in smaller chunks before you open the plugins and release to all of the users. So what we will be able to achieve is we will be able to decouple our deployment from release activity. You can keep on deploy without releasing the features to the public. So this is what we are trying. I mean, what dark launching is about. So what within this small subset of users, you will be able to get actual real user feedback. You can test for real production bugs. Instead of, it works on my testing environment, it works on my staging, therefore it should work on my production. But in most cases, they are not. Because they are different servers, and they are different databases, they are different sets of records. You don't know. We don't know. So there is a risk over there that we are trying to that we don't know of. So other than that, we also can use dark launching to assess our infrastructure performance. So I mean, you don't really release everything, then infrastructure kaboom. All right. So these are some of the typical scenarios that is useful if you want to try to do a dark launching. So one, if you can when you want to release a beta feature, to your users, see if it meets your objective or not. Just a small subset of things. Or you can evaluate your new application infrastructure without switching all of them in one go. And also you can even do canary launch. So you just specifically release a feature for your beta users to test. All right. And probably you have your VIP list that you want to release to them first. Yeah, you can get all this feedback from all these people. So how? In a nutshell, this is what a simple feature toggle concept do. So actually what it does is just a if and else. It does an if. Depends on your use case. Some people might not even use the else, so they just do if or do else if or a method to produce. So what if the feature is enabled with that particular label, so I will do a new one. Otherwise, I will do the old one. All right, I cracked a simple demo over here. I chose to use this. So I was playing around with Node.js lately. So and I've picked two open source feature flag platforms that is available online. One is Unleashed, which is the one I'm talking about today. Another one is Flagger, that you can try to play around with this. I haven't got any time to play around. So I will just basically let me show what actually does. So what over here? Imagine you have this. This is my. Okay, I have one simple page. I say hello. This is my default feature. All right. What it does is I show you how the code looks like. Sorry for my very bad Node.js writing skills. So what happened is, imagine this. All here are developers. No. All right, now I'll just explain what it does. So basically, it's just if I go to a root, then I'll just write a hello, and then I'll just run some function. If it's enable 01, I send it, okay, that's the one thing more equal, then I'll just run a do function. So if there's another extra stuff, so I'll just run an extra stuff function, and otherwise just run an old one. So what happens is, right now, as you can see over here, both of my toggles are actually disabled. So technically, it will just run else O function. So my O function is just write the default feature and duplicate. All right. So now you see what happens if I were to I turn this on. So I refresh. I'll get hey. I just enable a new feature. So I just have a new feature. So imagine, so if I don't want this, I'll just turn it off. It will just revert back to the original feed. So I don't need to do a rollback. I don't need to do to copy back all my code. I mean to deploy the old piece of code. I just do based on this one. All right. So by just using one simple on and off feature toggle, I will be able to achieve that. So imagine I have two. So right now, I have this turn on, okay, fine. So that's run the new function. Then I have another called extra stuff. What does extra stuff do? So if I turn on, so in this particular label, I have defined this toggle to appear 50% of the time. So if there is 10% who come to hit my page, they will get that function 50%, they will have a 50% chance of getting that function. So you can use this to slide in and out, it depends on, well, depends on if you like 70% and 17, so they will just do it accordingly. So what happens is, I have this one, so I refresh a few more times, you're seeing extra stuff. So you mean then you think it's good. That means you can slowly, okay, I release 10%, then I release 20%, then I release 70%, then I do a full blast 100%. All controlled from one control panel instead of you control everything from the code. I mean, if you want to use some third-party services like Optimizely and when you A/B testing, you can do that. But this one you can achieve that from one single panel. All right. So that is the typical demo that I have. So what are the extended use case for this feature flag? You can use it as a kill switch. Kill switch in the sense that let's say you can use this to flag some of the nice to have service that might be caused. I mean, if there are some load on your on your infrastructure, then probably you can use this kill switch to bring down those services that actually is nice to have, but it's not important. You can turn it off. Right? Let's say like I can do I don't know how what are the examples. But then do you understand the stuff? So you can use it as a kill switch to turn off something. Then you can use this to do incremental rollout. Then you can use this to give some calendar-driven launches. You can deploy your code. Then you can, I mean, if you read the documentation, you can actually set a context for each of your users. Then based on that users, then you can let them see whether they are okay or not. So you can, for example, you can define if I log in using my company ID, I will get this. But all the other users, non-company users, they will get the usual one. I will get the new one. Then you can test. So you can use this to do your stuff. Then your calendar driven on this, you can use this. Okay, deploy first, never mind. I can take my time to test. Then when it's time to launch, just one toggle, everything launches. So I mean, then you can give this control back to your marketing code. This for them to control instead of depending on the tech folks to wait for their resources and wait for their free time to have it to deploy. So what you can do that, you can do that. So you can even I mean the most common use case are maintenance work. So when you just click one, then just go to a maintenance page. So these are some of the stuff that you can do. So I mean, these are some of the reference that you can read. The book, I mean, Martin Fowler got lots of good DevOps articles that you can read. And this featureflag.io and the book from Launch.me. If you have $79 US to spend per month, then you can consider use Launch.me. They are the ones who wrote the maintaining the blog and featureflag.io. Lots of tips, best practices, use cases that you can read. So the ones that the feature toggle platform that I use is from Unleash. Yeah, so you can go and take a look. So basically that's it. Thank you very much. Okay, basically the whole thing is like this. You have your code running on your server, right? So it actually is it's SDK is just a curl call, it's just a REST call to the Unleash server to get they send in a context, send in a flag label. They'll just return you true or false, and that's all. So based on that, so of course your application logic determines whether you want to show this one to your users or not. Basically that's it. Yep. Oh, yeah. So in this particular for Anvis, you can send in your user contact. So for here, because I got no time to build an API build a thing to generate a unique user ID and transaction ID and all this stuff. So you can actually, inside also you can populate this to populate this object. Then you just send this one to Unleash. So Unleash will based on user ID. Depends on what are the strategy that we use for so you can have if it comes from an application host name or graduate. I just chose the URL random. You can go by the session ID. You can go by user ID, remote address, or user ID. So you can all of these strategies are based on the context here. So you can send in this info that pass to Unleash. So Unleash will based on the user ID. They will do what they do is they will just hash the ID and modulo it and then present you a true or false. That's it. So even since some use case where they use this to do database migration, like for they want to do it from DynamoDB to Mongo. So they use feature flag. Okay, that's 100%, 100% to the old one. Then they write a feature flag, turn on 10% write, then write 100%, then read 10%, read 100%. Then we can use this to do DB migration. Imagine that the possibility. Yeah, it's just based on your piece of code. Imagine this just take these two examples. You just ignore the rest. So if you could have imagine if enable ODB, if enable new DB. So yeah, you got the picture, right? So you can use that to turn off. You can write 10% of the traffic, then you can. So yep. Yeah, I would definitely recommend you to read the reference articles where there are some in the article it actually tells you what you should be using feature flags for, because feature flags for in usual case it is meant to be temporary. So once you have once you have tested, okay, let's say you already tested 50%. Okay, fine. Then after that, you roll out 100% already. So there is no reason for you to leave it there. So you should remove it. So there are some nitty-gritty of using feature flags. One of them is you could potentially introduce technical debt if you don't manage your code diligently. Which in your case, you will see lots of if statements. So there are a number of the feature flags that you can read from the articles. They describe some are very very long term, some are very short term, some are very sporadic. So it depends on what you want to use it for, then just plan accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for in this case, they give you this platform, like say for the last hour, you have been using 50% of this piece of thing. And I mean, well, just based on this, and then if there are some, you don't see this one population more often than COVID, and this problem is still here, probably is a good time to ask, is this flag still in the code, and why on earth this thing is still here? Then you yep. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That I mean, yeah, here is two ways. One is the pay money way. One is the free way. The free way, I mean, probably you just in your code you just send an event. Then another is the pay money way is you can go to launchdarkly.com. They sell you their features $79 a month. US dollars. So seems like you can, I mean, they it's a whole suite that you can, based on the percentage you can do A/B testing. They give you a analytics on how successful stuff. They give you that score, so you can go and have a look. And I mean, for because this one is free, so I think I'm going to say around with it. So there are plenty of this, especially Unleash, they have a SDK that you can still run into your code. So like on this page, using the Node.js, we have support for the role and the usual stuff that we normally see. Yeah. Right? Any more questions? Yeah, but that one is you control from the code inside your code base, right? Yeah, I mean, from here is you have a full branch of what you have. So it's just a splitting of the features instead of using deployment. Yeah, and I mean the old way, the old legacy way of doing is you still remember config file, right? So you have your config and yes, that's actually a feature flag, but that is not scalable because then when you have your you'll have your workload spread out, then you can't be going to each server and just change all the config files. So in this case, is you have a centralized place to do yeah. The SDK I would speak for Unleash itself. When the Unleash is, I mean, when in first initialization, when it does not able to connect to the server, it will by default to just false. Then once you first time you send it, then it returns whatever, it will just retain whatever response that you have until you are able to connect next. Yep. So there's no so like a single point failure answer. Is that no? It's front end. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but you can probably can read about it. But what I know is because I'm doing this from the server side, so you just you send in a contact based on the user ID. You know, just do that. Yeah. Also, there are some strategies that is based on session ID. Yep. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, your marketing folks will love it very much. I mean, your product managers, I mean, they can choose, pick and choose when they want to use the feature. Yeah, and also, I mean, if you mean with this, you can, I mean, if you want to try prompt-based development, yeah, probably this is a good way to go because you can just turn off the feature. I mean, just turn off the feature while the code is still in develop. Once it's full, then you can turn on it and test a bit, and after that, yeah. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.